Hey guys, it's Monday, Thanksgiving week upon us. It's puck time. I'm Lawrence Presman, and today's show, Carmine Bianco and Buster Sports. A big shout out to Dave from Buster Sports. He made a bunch of sales on his Canadian football 5% play and won it. We'll talk to him about that. And we're also going to take apart 4 NHL games and then a quick look at the rest of the board. Let's bring the guests in. Hey Buster, how are you, man? Nice call yesterday on the Grey Cup. I'm Canadian. I don't even know who won. I don't know what the score was. I actually could care less. So tell us, what happened?
Yeah, it was really a good game for us, obviously, because we won. We did have a lean on Winnipeg ourselves, as our clients know that we actually had 5%ers on Winnipeg in both times to upset in the Western Conference Final, and then in the semifinal we had Winnipeg. We really liked the club. When it came out, the line was Hamilton was 2, and that's where we had it. So it didn't move to Hamilton 4. Everybody bet Hamilton late. And you know what that means, guys. Once, for the most part, we've been doing this long enough to know when they load up on that, Winnipeg was the play. But the total we had was at 52. But what happened there was that the number was just bad. Of course, have a few guys that we discuss our CFL, just like I discussed my NHL, just like I discussed all kinds of things, because that's what we do in this business. And we all had the total around 48. And when it came 52, I literally had to think to myself, okay, am I missing something here? There's just something wasn't right, and put out for everybody at 52. And we've really crushed CFL. But again, we're Canadian. We've actually played a 3-down game as a young Buster, and it's just things we know a lot of people in the CFL too, and those kind of things do help at the end. I firmly believe, and my record for the last 3 years at Wager Talk shows that.
Well, congratulations to you, my friend.
Thank you, Prez.
I went 2-0 on Saturday in hockey. I'm on a little bit of a hockey run. Carm's always on a hockey run. How you doing, my brother, Carm?
I'm good. Excuse me, guys, for my voice. It's a little raspy today. I've gone through 3 or 4 days of fighting the flu. I had to do that sports grid fantasy show out in New York on Saturday, and I was I lost my voice about an hour and a half into the show. But I'm good. NHL seems to be turning around. There's a couple days where we're on the downslope, but we seem to be trending back upwards, and looking forward to. There's a lot of good games this week, like a lot of good games.
Including one that me and you are going to on Saturday night.
Absolutely. I'm taking the Prez to watch the Leafs get annihilated for the second night in a row, because they're probably going to lose on Friday to the Sabres.
Okay, shut up.
And Buffalo. We're probably going to beat them.
So, Carm, I was at a party on Thursday night, and I won the raffle, and I won Larry Tannenbaum's seats to a Leaf game in March.
Nice.
So everyone knows he's one of the owners of the Leafs, and his seats are sick. I've actually sat in them. Let's take care of some business and get to it, guys. Just really quickly, I'll be talking about this all week, so everyone knows there's no Puck Time show on Thursday. That's Thanksgiving in America. But I do want to let everybody know that as a thank you to all our customers, and you guys have been so wonderful, we have dropped all prices at Wager Talk and Sports Memo to $9 for Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. So every single package that we sell from Thursday to Monday over at Wager Talk and Sports Memo is $9. So make sure to take advantage of that. Let's get to the hockey games, boys. Vancouver going into Philadelphia. Philadelphia is a surprising 11-7, and Vancouver is 12-8. Philly finds themselves minus 135. And Buster, I'll go to you first. Vancouver's won their last 2 games. And Philly, well, they've been in a little bit of a funk. They've lost 5 of 6. What do you like in this game?
Yeah, Philly's one of those teams, I've mentioned it before, where they're very streaky. Before this 5 out of 6 funk, they actually won 5 out of 6 games, and they're a really good home club. But when they're on that kind of losing streak, I'm not sure if I can lay a 140, 130 with Philly, especially Vancouver. I know Andrew is usually here to tell you how many superstars are on Vancouver, but I'm not going to say that kind of stuff. But Vancouver did win 2 in a row. They go into Washington and win. They played a good game there. They win in Nashville, but they got 5 power play goals, got dominated. I think Nashville had about 50 shots on net. So they need to maybe shore up their defense a little bit, and they did that again in the Washington game the other night. For me in this game, I can't see a side here, but these 2 clubs have played under the total in the last 4 games. And with a total of 6, if I'm playing this game, I'm playing it under.
Carmine Bianco, I agree with Buster on that. What do you like?
I'm on the Flyers here. I like the Flyers. It's Demko and Hart in net tonight. Both are confirmed. Demko's pretty good, but I know that I know Vancouver went in and they got a pretty good win in Washington. Watched some of that game. Excuse me. It was even throughout. I'm sorry, guys. I'm choking here. The Philadelphia, the Philadelphia Calgary game. Calgary played a really good game. I talked about that game earlier. I gave that game out to clients.
Yes.
Calgary. Calgary after getting annihilated the night before, they held a players only meeting. Typically, these player only meetings kind of lead to a team playing a much better game next time out, and they really showed it in Philadelphia. Won that game. You look at you look at Vancouver, and I talked about how the end of this month is kind of it's a bad scheduling thing for Vancouver for the amount of games susceptible to a slump. And yeah, they won 2-1 in overtime. That game could have gone either way. Had they lost, we'd be talking about the fact that they've lost 8 of their last 10 instead of 7 of their last 10. For me, it's the Flyers tonight. I think you're better off taking that game in regulation to get a better line on it. I think in regulation you can get the Flyers at even money. In regulation, so it's Flyers for me.
He's Carmine Bianco, wagertalk.com. The mustache man is Buster Sports, and you can find him at wagertalk.com as well. A couple of promotions for you guys today. The first one is Dwayne Bryant. What an unbelievable college basketball season Dwayne is having. He's up absolutely massive units. He's also on a 9-0 totals run. And guys, I literally took $400 off of his college basketball season. This package is only available for the next 2 days. I took $400 off of his college basketball season. You guys can have it for $595. Use the promo code DB595. That's DB595, and you use it over at wagertalk.com. Boys, Pittsburgh's hosting Calgary, the aforementioned Calgary Flames. They lost 6 in a row, and then they finally beat Philadelphia. Pittsburgh's minus 155 here. And, Pittsburgh, they haven't been playing well either. They did beat New Jersey, not that that's a tough feat. But they lost 2 before that, and they've lost 4 of their last 6 games. Buster, I'm not going to be betting on this game, but I do think the dog is super live. I don't want to really step in the way of Calgary right now. I think they're about to go on a little bit of a run.
It's funny how you say that, Prez. It seems like me and you, last show I was on, we both were talking about a couple of big underdogs with the Rangers and Ottawa, which both came in that night. And I think the same way, Prez. As far as and Carmine touched on it, after they got beat 5-0 to St. Louis, they had a players only meeting, and they did play well. I know it's a crapshoot in overtime, so they win 3-2 there. So now they go to Pittsburgh. But if you see the teams, if they can win this game, gives them 2 games in a row. Then they get Buffalo twice, Los Angeles, and Ottawa. So if they can get this one tonight, they could get a nice little 6-game winning streak going, and that gives all the confidence. They are a very good club, and like you say, going into Pittsburgh's been at home for a while. I think they stepped out one game to play in the on Long Island. They lost both those games to the Islanders in overtime, and like you had mentioned, Prez, now they've won 2 out of 6. I just Crosby being out, they still are playing very well. I just think the spot is for Calgary here, just like you said, Prez. And again, I think I mentioned this on Wednesday. Sometimes when you've been betting hockey so long, some of these spots just kind of, you know what? Calgary's a little bit desperate. I think they're going to really give it all. Maybe it goes to overtime and they win again in overtime, or maybe they beat them by a goal or something. Pittsburgh, not as desperate. And the key here is Calgary has actually won 6 out of the last 8 meetings these two guys have played. And also, if you remember last year, Pittsburgh kicked their ass 9-1. And I know it's last year, but sometimes those things kind of sit in the team's mind. It's Calgary for me on a little flyer.
Carmine, are you with the two of us?
I am. I think we talked about it on one of the previous shows. I mentioned both the Leafs and both the Flames. When things are going bad at home, the best thing to do is to get out onto the road for a nice 4 or 5 game trip. And you know what? In the first game of both of those series, both those road trips, the Leafs went to Vegas, played very well the first period and a half, and then allowed a couple goals and got both. And then change. But at the end of the day, it's still the players that hit the ice. And you look at the Leafs; they seem to have turned it around. They've looked pretty good, and they've got Detroit and Buffalo to finish off their road trip, and they could be going home, winning 4 or 5. Look at the Flames; same thing. Got blown out in St. Louis first game. Played very well against Philadelphia. If they can get a win here, as Buster said, I was looking at the same thing earlier. They've got such a favorable schedule. They go to Buffalo, play the Sabres. Are going to be coming back home from the Florida double, Tampa Bay and Florida. Beat them. They come home and they play Ottawa, and then they get Buffalo and Los Angeles. So again, the best way to right a ship is to start to win and then beat the teams you're supposed to beat. And they're a live dog tonight.
Agreed.
This Pittsburgh team, until they get Crosby back, and it's going to be a while because of that core injury and surgery that he had, it's tough to back Pittsburgh, not in the sense that they don't have great players, but game in and game out. When you've got 2 or 3 superstars and one guy takes a night off, it's one thing. But when one guy's injured and one of your other 2 superstars takes a night off, you're relying on that 3rd and 4th line to get you wins. So hungry Flames team tonight to get the win.
Guys, just remember Dwayne Bryant, he's on a 9-0 totals run. I took $400 off of his college basketball season. You can get his entire season for $595. Use the promo code DB as in Dwayne Bryant 595. Nashville hosting St. Louis tonight, Buster. And Nashville is minus 140, making St. Louis plus 125. Hard not to take the dog in this spot. St. Louis 14-5 on the season against Nashville, who's 10-9. Now, the only real problem here is that Nashville finally won a hockey game, and they are a very good hockey team. They lost 6 in a row, and then they beat St. Louis 4-2 in their last game. St. Louis, this team is so good. They've won 2 of their last 3, but prior to that, they did lose 3 in a row. You know, I want to take St. Louis here. I don't think I can. I don't think it's the right spot for them. I think Nashville, like Calgary, might be going on a little bit of a run, and they're in a revenge mode now, but I can't take Nashville laying the points. If I had to bet this game, I would take St. Louis. Buster?
I'm a little opposite you, but mind you, you're staying away from the game because you feel that Nashville's going to go on a run, and that's exactly what I feel, is that they're going to go on a little bit of run. I'm not sure if you guys seen that, what happened to Arvidsson there with Bertuzzo, the cross-check. I don't know if you watched that, but you got to go back and see that Bertuzzo's going to be suspended for 4 games. Arvidsson's going to be out for about 4 to 6 weeks. he like cross checks him back in the net, looks at the ref and like he didn't do anything wrong, and then Harbison's getting up and he nails him in the lower back again. I mean, you're getting 2 years less a day on the street if you do stuff like that. It was crazy, and I think that's going to be in Nashville's craw a little bit tonight. Nashville dominated on Saturday night. It was a 4-2 score. It could have been 7-2. They dominated that game. The problem here is, of course, is laying the 140. Sometimes, you just do. I don't like to. I will only lay up to about 150 tops. But I think Nashville is because of what I saw there. Also, St. Louis, when did they start regress? It looked like when they lost 3 in a row. Then they come back and they win 2 out of 3, beating Tampa Bay and Calgary. So, okay. But now with Steen and Tarasenko out, and now they're missing some defensemen. They were talking about getting, I think, Troy Brouwer there. He was supposed to come, but they're trying to find a visa for him. And their injury, there's a little injury problem there, too, for St. Louis. And now they play here tonight. I think they go to Tampa Bay and to Dallas. They could be 3 losses there. I'm gonna lay the one. Actually, what I'll lay is the regulation. That might be where your value is Nashville and regulation for me, guys.
Carmine?
Yeah, it's always tough to win these back-to-backs, but Nashville played very well in that last game. They're coming home. Saros is in net. Is likely going to be in net tonight. It's very rare that he plays back-to-backs, but I think he's in net tonight. He played very well in that 4-2 win. I'm actually leaning on the over 5.5 here, and the reason for that is St. Louis's goalie tonight is more than likely going to be Jake Allen. He was first off the ice at morning practice. Usually first guy off the ice is your starting goalie in net, and I don't have as much confidence in Jake Allen, when you're betting unders. So I'd rather take the over here, lay like $1.10 in juice and take the over 5.5 here.
Everybody, last week we were talking about Tony Finn. I pushed the crap out of him. He's consistently the best handicapper at both Wager Talk and Sports Memo, year in and year out. He went 2-1 on Sunday. His 2 winners, he had a 5% play on Seattle, and then he also had the under in the Dallas-New England game. He's now on a 6-1 NFL run. The guy is 34-14. That's 34-14 on the entire NFL season, and as you can hear from Buster, 34-15. Those are absurd numbers. 70% on the season. I took $100 off of the rest of his NFL right through the playoffs. It's only $295. Real good deal. Head over to wagertalk.com. Use the promo code TonyNFL. That's TonyNFL. I love this matchup in Dallas tonight. You got the Vegas Golden Knights at 11-10 on the season going into Dallas. Dallas is minus 130 right now. And over and under of 5.5, which is a pretty low total, especially given the Golden Knights game. Dallas is rolling, though, Buster. This team has won 6 games in a row. And Vegas, they've lost 2 in a row, and they have also lost 7 of their last 9 games. What do you like in this one?
Yeah, I'll even take those streaks a bit further, Prez. Vegas has gone 3-9 in their last 12. Dallas is 10 out of 11, and they haven't even lost in regulation since October 26th. So that's always impressive. This isn't the same Vegas team, but the odds makers, like I got this earlier at 120, the odds makers are making them like they're the same Vegas team, and they're not. They're bad in their own end. They give up so many chances. It's just, I'm not sure what Gallant's doing here with her. Maybe they have the same
you know what, Buster? I think it's a moment in time. I mean, last year we spoke a lot about their swarming back check, and we haven't seen that a lot in the last little while. But as you said, it's the same team, and they should get it back. I think this is just a bad moment, and I think we see teams go through this every year. So am I to assume you like Dallas minus the 130?
Yes, I actually take Dallas in regulation as well. And with Fleury, too, just one more point, Prez, about Fleury. Like for Vegas, if he can't keep play. I know he loves the work, but he can't keep playing 65, 66
Yeah.
games. And eventually, I mean, that's going to be a trouble for Vegas down the road as well, even if they start getting it going.
Yeah, and he's old too. Carm, what do you like in this game?
Well, they're tempting you with the Dallas Stars line at -130, and I understand it. For me, I think it's either going to be an under or a pass. I'm kind of inclined, from a gambler's point of view, to take the Vegas Golden Knights because anytime you have Fleury in net, it's Fleury Bishop. It's anytime you have Fleury in net, you've got a chance to steal a game. This line just seems so out of whack for me. I just figure that I would have thought Dallas would be at least 15 to 20 cents higher in this game. I don't know why. I think they're begging you to bet Dallas. I'm going to stick with the under and pass on the side, although I would like to take the Golden Knights.
Carmine Bianco and Buster Sports joining me. This is Puck Time. You can see it every Monday to Friday on Wager Talk TV, our YouTube channel. And remember, everybody, every package at Wager Talk and Sports Memo, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, Thanksgiving special, only $9. Boys, it's the last minute of play. Let's get through it really quick. 10 to 15 seconds each. Carm, Tampa Bay -260 against Buffalo. We saw Tampa Bay win by a goal and a half on Saturday night. I can't take -260, so they're going to win by a goal and a half again.
Yeah, that line's been taking some action all morning. It's -1.5, -105 right now. These two played 2 weeks ago, 2 games in Stockholm, Sweden. 3-2 and 5-3 were the finals for Tampa Bay. They're starting to score some goals.
Yeah, I like the over.
Lightning for me and the over.
Buster?
Yeah, Buffalo on that Florida to Tampa back-to-back. Over and probably -1.5 for me.
Yeah. The Rangers, over 500 on the season. Nice turnaround. Panarin playing really well. 10-9 on the season against a 9-11 Minnesota, who, although 2 games below 500, have also turned their season around. Total of 6.5 here. And Carm, I go to you first. I mean, I like the Rangers in this game a lot. And I also like under the total. That seems like a very large number for a Minnesota game.
No, I like the way Minnesota's playing right now. I don't mind laying -120. I know this Minnesota team from earlier in the year wasn't playing very well. They are playing some pretty good hockey right now. I think they're buying into how they should be playing. They should have won that game against Boston on the weekend, but they're playing well here. Stalock's in net tonight. This Stalock, I know we have to be really quick with these ones. Stalock would be a great backup goalie for the Leafs if they could somehow figure a way to pry him away from Minnesota. But I'll take the Wild.
They should have traded Mike Babcock to them for the backup goalie and a bag of pucks. Guys, I have a 5% play in hockey tonight. I only have maybe 2 a month, so it's a big night for me. I have a 5% play. It's $9 Monday, so you can head over to wagertalk.com and buy my NHL 5% play for only $9. Buster, what do you like in that game?
I'm with you, Prez. I like the Rangers. They won 2 out of 3. They came back on Saturday night, beat my team. Like Carmine said, Minnesota should have won that game the other night. They lose, so New York with all kinds of momentum. Minnesota on the road, not so much. I'll take the Rangers at a pick.
Carm, Columbus -165 against Ottawa with a total of 6. Ottawa is a real surprise. Both teams are 500 on the season. I'm not going to get anyone near this game.
Yeah, I don't blame you. I couldn't pick a side because Ottawa sometimes just go into a arena and steal a game. I don't know what it is, but if I had to take anything, if you held a gun to my head, I would take the over here. Korpisalo in net, Anderson in net for the Sens. Each one of them with obviously high goals against averages, just a little over 3 each. It's the over or nothing, but I think you're best off passing here.
Buster?
total agreement what Carm said. Over, but I'll pass.
I'm just texting Marco, telling him Marco's on puck time today, guys, and we're running a little late. 2 minutes, full Marco time. Okay, boys. Anaheim versus the Islanders. Anaheim at +110. The over and under here is 5.5. Carmine, thoughts?
Yeah, this is a very bad scheduling spot again. It's funny that you mentioned Marco, because we always talk about a team coming off like a West Coast team coming off an East Coast or vice versa, and it's a sort of a long trip. Anaheim comes off an East Coast trip. They played that back-to-back against the Florida teams. Travel home and face an Islanders team who are already on the West Coast because they played in San Jose the other night. They're going for a franchise record, 18 straight, picking up points, 15-0-2. Thomas Greiss in net tonight, 9-1, with a 207 goals against average. Likely Gibson in net for the Ducks. I'm going to take the Islanders. Short price. I like this one.
I just texted Marco, tell him I'll be 2 minutes late to the show, and he texted back saying, "Why, are you having sex?" And I was like, pretty damn close. I'm doing puck time, baby. Buster, what do you like?
Something about this game. Islanders haven't lost in regulation since October 11th. Basically, the season started October 2nd. Anaheim's lost 8 out of 9. They just haven't looked well. But as we went back to that other game about Dallas being a small favorite there, the Islanders are only 125, 130 here. Something just, Islanders looks like it's too easy. That's to me. When something looks too easy, sometimes it tells me just stay away. So I would normally maybe be on the Islanders, but not here. There's just something tells me, nah, no thanks.
Yeah, I think the the Dallas one, I'm more surprised because of the fact that they're at home and they're laying only $1.30, whereas I've seen some money coming in on the Islanders this morning, especially overnight. I think it's just because of what the scheduling situation is, but we'll see. I'll watch the flow of money for the rest of the day.
I was going to say, that should scare you enough, because all of a sudden if the public bets the Islanders up to 140, 145, guess what? You might almost even want to jump on Anaheim, which I wouldn't suggest. I would just stay away from it.
LA +107 versus San Jose, over and under 6. Carm?
Quick and Jones, 2 goalies who I do not like.
They don't like you either.
Yeah. Those saves. The save averages of .889 and .884. This is such a terrible game. It's over 6 for me, and I'm pretty sure we hit it by the time we hit the middle of the third.
Okay, boys, that's the show. It was a real pleasure doing this with both of you guys. Check back tomorrow for puck time. Andrew McGinnis and Alex B. Smith with us. Make sure to use those promo codes. Tony NFL, $100 off of Tony's entire NFL season. DB595, $400 off of Dwayne Bryant's entire college basketball season. And of course, it's $9 Mondays at Wager Talking Sports Memo. Boys, a real pleasure. We'll see you all later on during the week.
Later, boys. Good luck.
Take care.